and then all of a sudden I heard crickets. So, okay. Virginia, do you want us to go ahead and get started?
Yes, please do.
Okay, perfect. Well, welcome everyone. I hope everyone's having a great day so far. My name is Diane Daniels and I represent Further, your new spending account administrator. So before we go ahead and get started, I did want to let you guys kind of understand what the format will be for today's meeting. We're going to be discussing the different types of spending account benefits available to you through the school district. We'll be talking about how these accounts work, the benefits associated with each of them, and then answering some commonly asked questions. We are going to hold the questions until the very end, upon which you can feel free to either ask your question by unmuting your phone, or you can choose to enter in your question through the chat feature. So let's go ahead and get started. An FSA is a personal expense account that works with your health plan. Each year, you set aside a portion of your salary pre-tax. You can then use that money to pay for medical costs not paid or covered by your health plan. Now, depending on your tax bracket, an FSA can help you save between 10 to 40% on these types of costs. So if that type of tax break doesn't appeal to you and you're still teetering on the fence about this type of benefit, let's take a minute to ask yourself a couple of questions. Am I consistently reaching my out-of-pocket maximum every year? Do I or my spouse and children have any upcoming dental or vision expenses? Will my child be receiving orthodontia expenses? Am I going to be having LASIK eye surgery done? If you answered yes to any of those types of questions, then this is the type of account you should be considering for next year. So how does it work? Simply decide how much you want to set aside for your medical, dental, and vision costs combined next year. However, we caution you and want you to plan wisely because the FSA is a use it or lose it type of account, meaning any unused dollars will be forfeited at the end of the plan year. Now, once you determine your annual FSA election, then you can anticipate that amount being withheld pre-tax from your pay in equal portions throughout the year and deposited into the FSA. Now, obviously, one of the greatest benefits associated with the FSA is that the full election amount is available on day one, meaning if I have a known or upcoming vision or dental expense on January 15th, then I can access my full election, whether I've paid it in or not, all on January 15th to pay my provider for that expense. So it's definitely something to consider. Now, every year the IRS sets the annual indexed amount. And for 2022, the maximum is $2,750. And then we also wanted to take this time to remind those who are currently participating in FSA that for the 2021 calendar year, you have until March 31st to submit your expenses rendered in 2021. Now, for those of you who will be participating next year, you will have until March 31st, 2023 to submit your expenses. Now, one of the most commonly asked questions we receive during open enrollment is, what can I use my FSA funds for? So as you can see on this slide, the FSA will reimburse you for your over-the-counter supplies and medications, any dollars applied to your medical deductible, including your coinsurance, copays, dental, vision, and even your orthodontia expenses. Things you can't receive reimbursement for include counseling, cosmetic surgery, toiletries, and vitamins. Now, for a complete list of eligible and potentially eligible and ineligible expenses, you can visit the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Vermont Learn site for a comprehensive list. Moving on to the HRA, as you may be aware, the HRA is 100% funded by your school district. It's a great benefit to take advantage of. Now, based upon your status and coverage type, you can anticipate the amounts highlighted on the next slide. So for those who are a licensed employee, you can receive between $2,100 and $4,200. So for those of you who are electing single only, you can anticipate receiving that $2,100 if you fall within a licensed employee bracket. For non-licensed, the funding amounts are $2,200 and $4,400. Now, it's important to understand that these funds are available on day one. So any qualified medical and or prescription costs you or your health plan dependents incur can be paid from the HRA. Once the funds are exhausted, you will be responsible for any additional out-of-pocket expenses. Now, upon enrollment in the HRA, you can anticipate being enrolled in what we refer to as medical autopay, and you'll also receive a debit card to use at the pharmacy for your prescriptions. To ensure you understand how that works, I want to walk you through a couple of examples. So here's how medical autopay works. Your school district, like I said before, will fund your HRA generously on day one. Let's say you go to the doctor, your doctor then submits that expense or that service to your health plan, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Vermont, like they already do today. And then Blue Cross Blue Shield of Vermont is going to determine your patient responsibility. And without you having to do anything, they will then send the amount to Further, and we will issue a payment directly to your provider. That really alleviates you from having to manually submit or manage your bills. Now, the second example I want to walk you through includes picking up prescriptions using your prescription-only debit card. So similar to the previous example, your school district will fund your HRA on day one. Let's say you or one of your health plan dependents needs to fill a prescription, right? It's the new year. You have to get it filled. You'll simply go to the pharmacy and present your RX debit card. The funds will electronically pull from your HRA and won't require you to do anything else. Now, if in the circumstance you forget to pay using your debit card, or let's say you forgot to activate your card and the card doesn't work, then you can submit for reimbursement all conveniently online. So let's shift gears to the health savings account and start with the most basic question. What is a health savings account? Well, an HSA is a special kind of tax advantaged account that's really designed to help you pay for healthcare expenses. Anyone can open an HSA as long as they have health coverage through a qualified high deductible health plan. Now, remember, if you don't have this type of health plan, then you cannot open and contribute to an HSA. You also cannot be covered by any other secondary health plan. You cannot be enrolled in Medicare, and you cannot be claimed as a tax dependent on your parents' taxes. Now, outside of that, there are many special advantages to opening and contributing to an HSA. You can use the money in the account to pay for your current medical expenses, or you can choose to save it for future medical expenses, including those in retirement. Well, you're probably familiar with the FSA. Well, unlike the FSA, there is no use it or lose it with an HSA. Any dollars left in your account at the end of the year roll over to the next year. That means you get to decide whether to spend or save your HSA dollars, which makes it really easy to save for the future. Now, remember, the account is owned by you. So no matter where you work, or if you choose to retire, that money that's in the account always belongs to you, even if the money was contributed by your employer. Another advantage of the HSA is what we refer to as triple tax savings. So here's how that works. Not only does the money that's deposited into the account reduce your taxable income, but the balance in your account earns interest tax-free. And then any withdrawals you make from the account are also tax-free as long as those dollars are used for a qualified medical expense. That gives you triple tax savings. The HSA is also unique because it comes with a built-in investment option. Once the balance in your HSA exceeds $1,000, you can use any portion over that threshold to open an investment account with Charles Schwab. Or you can choose to leave the money in your HSA where it will continue to earn interest. So how does it work? Simply enroll in the Silver plan and make sure that you meet the qualifying guidelines to make or receive contributions to an HSA. So if you enroll in the Silver plan, then you also can't be claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return. You can't have that secondary coverage, including being covered by a spouse's FSA, and you also cannot be enrolled in Medicare. Those three things disqualify you from contributing or receiving contributions to an HSA. Now, once you're enrolled, you can allocate a dollar amount be deducted from your paycheck on a pre-tax basis. Now, the district is being incredibly generous by contributing to the HSA. So make sure between you and your employer, the contributions do not exceed the annual indexed amount set by the IRS. So for those of you who may not be as familiar with HSAs, and I don't think, they're very popular in Vermont in general. So every year the IRS sets a maximum amount that they allow individuals to contribute to an HSA. The maximum is dictated based upon your health plan contract type, right? So single or family. And so for 2022, if you have single coverage, you can contribute up to $3,650 or $7,300 for family. We also wanted to call out that if you are 55 years of age or older, you can contribute an additional $1,000. This is known as a catch-up contribution, and the IRS allows this so that you can really pre-plan for your retirement. So one of the methods of reimbursement, right, that when you enroll in the Silver plan and then also enroll in the HSA is you can anticipate receiving a debit card to pay your providers. So when you have a healthcare expense, remember you get that option to choose when to spend or save your dollars. You'll be able to use that HSA debit card at the provider or at the pharmacy to automatically access your HSA funds. Or if you choose, you can submit your bills online for reimbursement. As previously mentioned, you can withdraw money from your HSA without paying taxes or a penalty as long as those dollars are used to pay for those qualified medical expenses. Qualified medical expenses include things that are associated with your health plan. So again, any dollars applied to your deductible or coinsurance, any healthcare expenses not included in your health plan, dental, over-the-counter supplies, and some insurance premiums. So once you turn 65, you will be eligible to withdraw from your HSA tax-free for COBRA premiums, or let's say Medicare post-65, and then some long-term care insurance premiums. So it's definitely a great vehicle to fall back on for retirement. We also make this very easy for you to manage, all online. So after you're enrolled, you can anticipate receiving two things from Further. You can anticipate receiving in the first mailing our standard welcome letter. This is just confirming your enrollment. No action is required on your part. The second mailing that you will receive in a blank envelope will be a debit card. The most important thing to remember about this is that you need to activate it before you use it. Otherwise, it will decline. You can also easily view your account, submit online requests for reimbursement, check your balance, as well as make contributions if you're enrolled in the HSA, and issue payments directly to a provider for those who are participating in the HSA. We also offer a variety of different options to update your account. So if you have a family member or other trusted individual that you want contacting Further customer service on your behalf, you can easily update your account with that individual's name so that we can work with them while you're at work or doing other important family things. And of course, if you have any questions, and I know you will, you can always rely on our friendly staff at Further. And this is the phone number that you can call. And if you wanted to learn more, we also have a website through Blue Cross Blue Shield of Vermont that provides you with a variety of tools to help engage and educate you on the different options available. So with that, we can go ahead and open it up for questions. So we'll give everyone a minute. I'm going to pull up the chat feature. So again, feel free to enter in your question via chat, or feel free to unmute your line and ask the question. And Carl, I forgot to introduce you. Do you want to take a minute to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. My name's Carl. I've been with Further for about 13, 14 years here now. I think it's coming up here in November. And yeah, I work with the VHI groups on a group level. So very familiar with the plans. So anything that might get up to, your HR and things like that, they'll work with me to, help you resolve any, issues or things like that if needed. But yeah, our customer service bank is kind of the first line of defense. And then I kind of help out from there. So.
Okay, it looks like we have our first question. How much does the district contribute to the HSA? Virginia, do you want to answer that question?
It's the same amount as the HRA.
So the HSA contributions, to clarify then, will be based upon if you're licensed or non-licensed. And remember, the funding is going to be the same of that of the HRA.
Correct.
Okay, the next question. Wondering about use it or lose it. The last couple of years, we would have rollover. I think it was 550. Okay, Kate, thank you for asking that. I wanted to make sure that everyone understood that for those of you who are participating, whether it be this year or next year, that rollover does still apply. So you will be able to roll over up to $550. So
actually, can I butt in for a second?
Oh, yeah.
So for this plan year 2021, anybody who has funds in excess of $550, that full amount will be able to roll over into 2022. And this is because we chose to allow this under one of the COVID legislation laws. But for the plan year 2022, at the end of the run out period, it's reverting back to the $550. Does that make sense?
Kate, does that make sense?
Virginia, just to
Yes.
clarify, so if I had, let's say, $1,000 I put in, and at the end of, if I didn't use a penny of it at the end of 2021, all of it could be rolled over to 2022.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, Lisa is asking, can we have an HSA if on a plan that isn't silver? So remember that you have to be enrolled in the silver health plan option in order to be eligible. The key word is eligible. So the IRS has rules and regulations in place to basically qualify certain health plans in order to be eligible to be paired with an HSA. So right now, the only health plan that falls within those eligibility rules is the silver option. So hopefully that answers your question, Lisa. Okay, Annie is asking, so if I have insurance through my husband, can I use the HRA with his insurance? He has Blue Cross Blue Shield through his work.
No.
Now, remember that the HRA dollars are employer funded. So it's based upon health plan dependent status. And so if you're not currently enrolled on that health plan, then your expenses will not be eligible to be paid out from that HRA. We'll give another minute for anybody to ask any questions.
So if I have, my husband is kind of like automatically put on a plan through his employer, and we choose the silver plan, does him having another plan another automatic plan automatically disqualify us from the HSA?
So does his plan cover you?
No.
So if you enroll in the silver, and you're not covered by any other plan, and you meet all the eligibility requirements associated with contributing to an HSA, then you would be qualified to enroll in the HSA, but you have to enroll in that silver plan.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, Suzanne's asking, can you use the FSA to pay for dental COBRA payments with a past employer? So unfortunately, the FSA does not reimburse for insurance premiums. So that would be a no. Okay, looks like B. David is asking, which is the current plan we are on? Is it the gold plan? I think you're going to have to work with Virginia to understand which plan you're currently on, right, Virginia?
Yeah, they should email me with that type of question.
And then Kate's asking, can we get a recap on gold versus silver?
So the maximum out of pocket for the gold CDHP plan for a single is $2,500. For the silver plan, the maximum out of pocket is $4,000. So the HRA is the same benefit for either of those plans, the HRA, or if you went with the HSA for the silver, the dollar amount that the district would fund is the same amount. So with the silver plan, there's the potential for a higher exposure for out-of-pocket costs after that employer benefit has been exhausted. For the family plan, or anything higher than a single, the gold CDHP out-of-pocket is $5,000. And for the silver plan, it's $8,000. One of the last emails that I sent out, I attached a VHI plan comparison, and it tells the out-of-pocket for each of the plans.
Does it give the prices? Deanna's looking for a handout.
So prices are on the WCSU 32 website under the health portion. If an employee can't locate, they can email me, and I can send them a link directly to where they can find the information.
Great. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? Virginia, did you have anything else to add?
Okay, so it looks like somebody was asking about the dollar amount for the HRA again.
Yes, Cassie, one more time. 4,600 in HRA question mark for the
Yeah, For the teachers, for anything above a single, the HRA, HSA is $4,200. For the ESP non-licensed, it's $4,400.
Okay. Beatrice asked, in 2022, we will just have everything on the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Vermont website? Yes. So part of the benefit, you guys, of having Further as your spending account administrator is that you don't have to manage multiple passwords anymore, right? So you're going to be able to access your spending accounts all through a single sign-on from the Vermont member portal. So we're very excited to have that integration available to our members and to our groups. And we look forward to really offering that service to you. Okay. Well, I think that may be all the questions. So thank you for your time. We appreciate you carving out a half an hour of your busy schedule to learn about FSAs, HRAs, and HSAs. Again, if you have any questions or think of something else, please contact us and we'd be happy to clarify or explain how these accounts work again. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. Thank you.